Hi everybody and welcome to this Clearing Q&A. My name's Amy Smith. I am Associate Director of Admissions and Student Recruitment here at Nottingham Trent University, and hopefully I'm going to be able to answer any question that you may think of to do with clearing, adjustment, A-level results day, anything around that time of year. Hopefully I'll be able to support you. So we're going to kickstart the Q&A straight away. We've had quite a few questions in advance, but if you do have any questions yourself, please pop them in the chat message. Okay, so the first question is quite a straightforward one, and that is, what is clearing? So clearing is an opportunity for students to find a place at university or college after they've received their results. So all in the past, it's often been seen as a bit of a desperate scramble in order to get a place through clearing, but that is certainly not the case anymore. There are thousands of places available at a wide variety of different universities and colleges. So if you change your mind and you don't want to go to your firm or insurance choice anymore, if you don't get the grades that you were expecting and you've been unsuccessful in finding a place, or even if you've done better than expected and you just want to see what else is out there, then clearing is definitely for you. Also, if you've not even thought about applying yet and you're thinking, oh, actually now might be the time for me to submit an application to university, then by all means submit a clearing application. When do I need to apply is the next question. So clearing is technically open now. So if you've got your results already, if you perhaps did your A-levels last year, or you've taken a qualification like an international baccalaureate or a BTEC perhaps, then you might have your results already. So you can contact universities and colleges to apply right now. However, the bulk of activity in regards to clearing generally happens from A-level results day, which is Tuesday the 10th of August onwards. So most students who go through clearing will apply from Tuesday, the 10th of August. How can I check which courses NTU has in clearing? That's a great question. There's a few different places where you can check what vacancies are available. First of all is the institutional website, so ntu.ac.uk. You'll be able to see the most up-to-date vacancy information on there. Secondly, you can have a look on the UCAS website. There will be all of the vacancy information on there, but it's not necessarily updated as quickly as the institutional website. So that's probably the best place to check. And then finally, the UCAS Clearing Plus service is another place where you can find vacancies. So this service will surface vacancies to you that are relevant based on things that you've put in your UCAS application. If you go to the UCAS website, so that's ucas.com, there's more information about Clearing Plus on there. But generally, if you contact the institution, if you're not sure, if it's not clear on their website, or if you just want to find out if they've got spaces that have come available since that information was published, contact the institution directly and they should be able to help you. Oh, this is an excellent question. So somebody who's already applied to NTU, which is fantastic. What happens if I don't get the grades? So my first bit of advice for anybody, when you open your results on A-level results day, if they're not what you expected, or you've done perhaps not as well as you thought you were going to, don't just presume that that means that you're not going to get a place at university. The best thing to do is log on to UCAS Track straight away and see what the outcome of your firm and insurance applications were. So in some cases, if you've dropped a grade or maybe perhaps two, then the university might be able to accept you anyway. So you'd be what's called a near miss student. It may be that we've looked at your application holistically, so taken everything that you've put in there into account, and actually we can make you an offer anyway. Otherwise, you may get an offer for an alternative course. So if you've applied for something particularly in like the sciences or technology, that kind of area, you may be made an alternative offer for a foundation year. So that's an extra year on the beginning of an undergraduate degree, or a foundation degree. So that's a 2-year degree rather than the traditional 3-year bachelor degree. So if you've not got the results that you expected, you may still be able to get a place on a related course via an alternative offer. Ultimately, though, if you are unfortunate enough to not get a place at your firm or insurance, so if you're firmly accepted at NTU and you unfortunately don't get the grades, then you will be entered into clearing automatically. But if you have been rejected by your firm choice, it's also worth contacting them again as part of clearing. So it may be that a place has come available on a course that looking at your application you may not be interested in, but you may have questions that you want to ask the university, maybe see if there's anything else that they could offer you as an alternative. So don't just presume that because you've been unsuccessful that that's definitely the end of your journey. Just give us a call and we'll see if there's anything that we can do for you. Can I speak to anybody about the courses that I'm interested in? Yes, you can. So we have a dedicated clearing hotline as well as a web page, and you'll see both of those scrolling along the bottom of the screen. If you can't see that, then the clearing hotline number is 0115 848 6000, and our website is ntU.ac.uk/clearing. And I'll be repeating that a few times, I imagine, over the course of this Q&A. So when you call that number or when you visit that website, whoever answers that call will be able to give you advice about what vacancies we've got available. They'll probably be able to answer some very basic questions about the course. So when does it start? What are the entry requirements? Do you need specific subjects? Those kinds of questions. Or they can put you in touch with somebody who will be able to give you more detail about the specifics of the course. Now, if you are interested in things like content of modules, or if you're wanting to transfer into perhaps the second year rather than into year one, if you're wanting to change your mind about the university, then maybe it would be a better option for you to check the website first. All of our course specifications will be published on there. And then also we have a functionality which we call UniBuddy, which enables you to talk to staff and current students as well. So if you go to ntu.ac.uk/chat and then search for the subject or area that you're interested in, you should be able to find a member of staff or a student who will be able to have that conversation with you about very specific course questions, but also what life at NTU is like directly from the students, which is great. Okay, so we've got another question, which is, I haven't applied to university yet. How do I do this? So now that we are in clearing, the only way that you can apply for an undergraduate degree is through clearing. So the first thing you need to do, go onto the university's websites that you're interested in and find their clearing hotline number. Make a note of that, or if you're ready to apply straight away, then pick up that phone, make the phone call. You'll be asked a series of questions over the phone, so things like personal details. You'll need your results to hand so that you know exactly what grades you've got, including any GCSEs or equivalent qualifications that you may have taken. And then also what course you're interested in. So even if it's something as broad as you're interested in a course in business, then you can have that conversation with the person who picks up your phone, and they'll be able to tell you about a whole host of courses that are available. So whether it is straight business or management or marketing or accounting and finance or one of these other business related degrees, you don't have to specifically know that you want to apply for, say, M100 LLB law, and that's the only thing that you're interested in. You don't have to be that specific, but yeah, just pick up the phone and give hopefully NTU a ring on 0115 848 6000 if you've got your results and you're ready to apply. Can I go through clearing if I hadn't had a decision on my application yet? So yes and no is the answer to that in a very diplomatic fashion. So if you've submitted an application already, whether that's through UCAS main cycle or UCAS extra perhaps, and you're waiting for a decision, if you then want to enter clearing, you would have to withdraw from that choice that you've submitted already, or wait for the decision to come through. And then if you don't want to firmly accept it, you can decline it. And then you put yourself through clearing in exactly the same way as I've just mentioned previously. So giving the institutions a call and seeing if there are any places available. If I don't get the grades on results day, can you reapply for the same course during clearing? Again, possibly with this. So if you don't get the grades that you expected and you've checked UCAS track and you've been unsuccessful at your firm choice, it may be that you've perhaps got another qualification that you didn't put on your UCAS application. So if that's the case, then give the institution a ring and they'll be able to see if the other qualification that you've got could be used to get you a place on that course. Generally, unless you've got additional information to provide, the university will have taken everything into account on your application form and also the results that we've received. So if you've been unsuccessful for that course, then it's unlikely that you'll be able to get a place during clearing. You could look at the same course at other universities, or you could contact the original university that you're interested in and see if there are other courses available that you may be interested in that they may not have considered you for. Do I have to phone or can I apply online? So phone is the quickest way to do this. So if you make the call and we go through everything with you on the phone, then it's very likely that by the end of the phone call, you will have an offer of a place or will have been able to give you some advice about what you need to do next. We do have an online application form that will be going live in the next week or so. So keep checking back on our website for when that goes live if you would prefer to apply via an online form instead of making the phone call. But I would definitely advise you to pick up the phone wherever possible. Clearing is very fast paced. Even though there's loads of places available across the sector and across different courses, it is very fast on A-level results day. So it's definitely worth picking up the phone, potentially getting in the queue and just being patient and waiting to get through, because that's more likely to get you a place than applying online. So that would be my advice in that instance. If I'm applying to an art and design course, do I need to submit a portfolio? So if you're applying for any course that requires an additional admissions assessment, so it may be a portfolio or it may be an interview, depending on what course you're interested in, we will contact you as part of the clearing application process so that you can submit or take part in whatever we need you to take part in. So if we don't ask you for a portfolio or an interview, then you won't have to do one. But if we take all your details over the phone or you submit your online application and we need a portfolio from you at the end, part of that conversation will be, you need to submit a portfolio. We'll send you some information about what kind of things that we need from you, and then you'll have a deadline in order to submit that. Our academic team will then take that into account alongside any grades that you've received, and then we'll be able to make a decision on your application form. But if we don't ask for it, then you don't need to provide it at application stage. I have a disability and I want to apply through clearing. How do I access support? So hopefully, as part of the clearing application process, you will be able to find an accessible way of submitting an application, whether that is over the phone or via our online application form, whichever one of those works best for you. When it comes to support when you get to university, we've got an award-winning student support services team, and they will be able to offer as much support as possible in relation to accessibility, but also mental health support, all sorts of things relating to things like lecture support, whether you need a note taker. All of these support options are available through our Student Support Services Centre. So if you declare a disability on your application form when you refer yourself to us through UCAS, then they will get in touch with you. But you can also get in touch with them directly to explain your situation and say that you're thinking about applying through clearing. What kind of things do we offer in terms of support, but also what kind of things can you request from us in terms of support? And that's worth doing before you make your clearing phone call, so that when you pick up that phone and you're ready to make your application, that's exactly what you're doing. You know that phone call is your application, and then you know how to access the support afterwards. So I think one of my very talented colleagues is going to put up the link to some clearing information at the end of this presentation, and then you will be able to follow links through there to our student support services team as well. I've already mentioned Unibuddy. We do have some student support representation on Unibuddy, and you can ask either those staff members or a current student about perhaps their experience of accessing support, but also where they need to go and who they need to speak to. So there's other options available on the website as well. Can I visit NTU before I accept my offer? Yes, you absolutely can. So we are holding an open house event, which is on Saturday, the 31st of July and Sunday, the 1st of August. That runs from 9 until 6. I'm well aware that a lot of you may not have applied through clearing by that point. However, it's a great opportunity to come to campus and really get a feel about what NTU is like. So it's not quite a formal open day, so there'll be no big formal presentations or anything like that. It's more about coming and having conversations with our students, with our academics, and just seeing what life at NTU is really all about. After A-level results day, we'll also be doing bookable campus tours for applicants who apply through clearing. So as part of your clearing application, you will get an email follow-up that gives you the information about your offer, what you need to do next, and also the opportunity to book an in-person campus tour from Tuesday the 10th of August until Tuesday the 17th of August. How many clearing offers can I have? So you can contact multiple institutions, multiple universities, in order to see if they'd be able to make you an offer of a place. So if on A-level results day, you want to ring 3 different universities and say, these are my grades, I'm interested in history, let's say as an example, would you like to offer me a place? They will confirm whether they will want to offer you a place, send you some follow-up information by email as well. But when it comes to selecting your clearing choice on UCAS, you can only select one. Now, if you refer yourself through clearing for a particular course and then change your mind, you can release yourself from that offer and go back into clearing. But there's no guarantee that if you refer yourself for one program, but you're holding offers for others, that offer will be valid in perpetuity. So there's generally a time limit on when you need to refer yourself through UCAS. So really double check the information in the follow-up email, or ask that as a question when you're on the phone with the institutions. You know, do you have a time limit on the offers? What do I need to do next in terms of referring myself through UCAS? And they'll be able to help you. Do I need to reapply for student finance if I apply through clearing? So if you've already applied for student finance and you get a place through clearing, you don't need to reapply, but you do need to let them know if you've changed university or if you've if you've changed course area. So they will need to update that so that they pay the correct institution the correct tuition fees. So just let them know that you've changed institution or course and they will make that change for you. You don't need to reapply. If you've not applied to university already and you've not applied for student finance, if you get a place through clearing, then you can submit your student finance application after your place has been confirmed. So you just need the institution that you're going to and the course, and then you can fill in a student finance application and provide all the information that they need to get that loan out to you. Can I apply for any scholarships? So we do have a small number of scholarships available for both home and international students. Again, the information is on our website. If you go to the website and search for fees and funding, then you'll be able to see what scholarships and bursaries and other sources of funding are available, as well as the Student Finance England or equivalent student loan provider, depending on what part of the country or indeed the world you come from. Will accommodation be available if I apply through clearing, and how do I apply? Yes, so accommodation is still available now. So if you've got an offer of a place and you are still looking for accommodation, then contact our accommodation team and they'll be able to support you in finding a room or some kind of accommodation that you're looking for. If you apply through clearing and get a place, or if you change your mind and want to come to NTU, that's absolutely fine. There will be accommodation available. And the application process will again be one of those pieces of information that's in that email that's sent to you when you are made an offer. So you'll be able to see straight away what you need to do next, how to apply for accommodation. There'll be a link through to the accommodation website where you can select exactly what accommodation you're interested in and then follow through the application process that way. What will happen on the morning of A-level results day? That is quite a question. So for me, I'll be getting up at about 5 in the morning and coming straight to the office to get ready for all the phone calls that we're expecting on A-level results day. But generally, what happens on the morning of A-level results day is results are released. So this year they're released at 8:30. And how you get those results will depend on your school or college. So some will send them in the post, some will email them. There may be a student portal that you need to log into, or alternatively, you may be able to go to the school itself and pick up your results in person. Once you've got your results, UCAS Track opens at 8:30. So again, you'll be able to log in and see what the outcome of your applications are. You won't be able to see results on UCAS Track, so you can't see if your A-level results, for example, are published on UCAS Track. You will only be able to see the outcome of your applications. So you'll need to get your results from somewhere or be sent your results and then check on UCAS Track to make sure if you've been accepted at your firm or insurance choice. At that point, once you know whether you've been accepted and what you need to do next, then if you've been accepted, you will probably have a lot of preparation to do in terms of getting yourself ready for coming to university, maybe starting to think about what things you need to buy, all of that kind of thing. If you've not been successful, then from the moment you get your results, then you can submit an application through Clearing. So pick up the phone and start calling those universities as soon as you know if you've got a firm or insurance place confirmed. Even if you have got one of those confirmed and you're interested in clearing, make that call as soon as possible so that you can see what's available. And if you're interested in another university, you can find out if they'd be willing to accept you. And then UCAS Track for referring yourself through Clearing opens at 2:00. So if you ring a university at 8:30, you get an offer at say 8:35 or 8:40 perhaps, then you can refer yourself to that institution and that course from 2:00 that day. So you've got a little bit of time in between to maybe do a bit more research or maybe contact one of the uni buddies to have a real chat about life at the institution. And then at 2:00, you go onto UCAS Track, put in the course code and the institution code of where you want to go. So our institution code is N91, just in case you want to make a note of that now. And then you refer yourself to us. We will confirm that the results that you said over the phone are matching the results that we've received, and then your place will be confirmed. What is adjustment? So adjustment is a way for people who have met and exceeded. Now that part is really important. So you've met and exceeded the conditions of your firm choice institution, and you want to look for a place elsewhere. Now, what met and exceeded means is that you not only have to have met the equivalence of the qualifications, you have to have met the conditions exactly. So an example of this is if you were made an offer that was BBB at A-level and you achieved ABC, even though that is the same in terms of tariff points and equivalence as BBB, you would not be eligible for adjustment because in one of those subjects, you had not met and exceeded the conditions of your offer. If you were made an offer of BBB and you actually got ABB, then you would be eligible for adjustment because you'd met all of those conditions and then you'd exceeded in one as well. Now, just because you've done better than you expected doesn't mean you have to use adjustment. You can still use clearing. That's not a problem at all. It's no different in terms of your suitability for a course. So you don't have to just not have done as well as you expected to use clearing. You can just, if you prefer, rather than going through the adjustment process, which is time limited, you need to log on to UCAS Track, make yourself eligible for adjustment, then contact the universities that you're interested in, then get them to take your application back, in essence, from UCAS. If you don't want to do that, you can just apply through clearing. There's no obligation or stipulation as part of the clearing process that you have to have not met the conditions of your offer. So adjustment is available, it is out there. There are some universities that will only use adjustment and won't use clearing. So if you are eligible for adjustment, you look at clearing vacancies and you find that there aren't any available for you, contact the institution that you're interested in to see if they'll accept you through adjustment. But otherwise, you don't necessarily have to use it if you'd prefer to just pick up the phone and use clearing. When will clearing end? So clearing ends really for universities when all of their places are full. So or the start of term, whichever one comes first. So clearing will generally be open while ever there are vacancies at that institution, and then when they decide that they're full, then it will close. There is a deadline to refer yourself through clearing, and that is in September. So details of that are on the UCAS website. And then the cycle, so the application cycle, will close shortly after that. So if you are quite late in getting the clearing place, or you change your mind right at the last minute, you do just need to check that you can still refer yourself before the UCAS deadline. But if you go to ucas.com/dates and deadlines, then all that information is in there for you as well. What if I have an offer from a different university but have changed my mind and want to come to NTU? Fantastic news. Just if you have already been made unconditional at that university, so you've got your results and you're ready to make that change now, you can contact us and get a place through clearing. You'll then have to release yourself on UCAS Track. So you go onto UCAS Track and select Decline My Place. That will decline your firm offer, and you'll then be able to select your new clearing choice. If your offer at the moment is conditional and you're waiting for the results, but you still are interested in coming to NTU because you've changed your mind, then you will have to wait till A-level results day to apply through clearing. But in the meantime, you can register on our website for updates about clearing. So that's ntu.ac.uk/clearing. And on there is what we call a pre-registration form. You'll be able to fill that in. We'll keep you up to date with things that are going on at NTU in the run-up to clearing. And then on A-level results day, just give us a call, 0115 848 6000, and we'll be able to discuss your options with you and what you need to do in order to get a place with us. What information do I need to give when I call the clearing hotline? So we ask questions as part of that telephone call. So we essentially take you through an application form over the phone. So first thing are the usual personal details. So name, email address, telephone number, postal address, that kind of information. You'll also need at least the subject area that you're interested in. So I know I used the business example earlier, but I'll use that again. So if you're interested in business, we'll be able to look on our systems to see what courses related to business are available. So even if you ring up and BA Business, for example, has no spaces available, we'll be able to tell you what other courses are available that are related to that. You'll need to have your results to hand. So both A-levels and then GCSEs or equivalent. So generally in English and maths as a minimum, but some courses require 3 GCSEs and some 5. So generally things like nursing, social work, teacher training, those kinds of courses, they may require more GCSEs. So we'll ask you about that again as part of the application form. You won't need to volunteer the information. If we need it, we will ask you for it. So don't worry about that. You don't have to prepare for questions that we might not ask you. And then as the final part of the form would be if we need an interview or a portfolio. So as I mentioned earlier, we will invite you to either of those things if we need those from you. Once you submit all that information, we will then double check that you meet our entry requirements and then hopefully make you an offer. So we'll double check your email address at that point so that we send you the email with all that information in that will give you the details of your offer, the results that we have made that offer on the basis of, and then what you need to do next as well. Can I apply through clearing if I'm an international student? Yes, you absolutely can. So if you've got your results already, you can apply now through clearing in exactly the same way as international baccalaureate or BTEC students or students who took their A-levels last year can, or you can wait until A-level results day. We may ask some different questions from you if you are an international student. So we generally require things like an English language test. So if you've got an English language test, have that to hand when you're making that phone call. And we'll ask you about scores in the individual elements as part of that. We may also ask you some questions about whether or not you need a student visa. and ask for things like a copy of your passport and that kind of thing so that we can issue a CAS for you and you can get that student visa. But yeah, absolutely. If you're international, you can apply through clearing. That's absolutely fine. If we get in as an insurance choice, how do we apply for accommodation? So if you are accepted at your insurance choice and it goes to firmly accepted on A-level results day, then you apply for accommodation via the website in the normal way. So you go to ntU.ac.uk/accommodation and the application form is on there, and you'll be able to select the accommodation that you want to apply for as part of that process. What time can I get in touch with NTU on results day? So our phone lines will be open from 8:30. So you'll be able to get in touch with us as soon as you've received your results and as soon as you've checked on UCAS Track what's available. So 8:30. If I change my mind, but I've already accepted the offer, do I have to apply again? So if you've changed your mind and you had an offer previously for an institution, depending on when you made that firm acceptance, you may be able to contact UCAS and change your reply. So generally you have 14 days from when you make your firm and insurance choice to change that to another one of your choices if you want to. If you've passed that deadline, then if you have changed your mind and you don't want to go to your firm, then yes, you'll have to contact the institution that you want to go to and go through the clearing process in order to go back to them. I'm going to apply to NTU in the clearing process. Will I still get the option of getting a conditional or an unconditional? So generally, offers that are made through clearing are unconditional because you've already got your results. If there is something that's preventing us from making an unconditional offer, so an outstanding interview, an outstanding portfolio, or if we need evidence of qualifications or some additional information before we make that decision, we will ask you for that via email and also as part of the filling in the application form online. You won't get a conditional offer as such. So we will ask for that information before we make you unconditional, because you have to be unconditional in order to refer yourself through clearing, because it just comes through as an accepted offer. So we will get all the information that we need before we make your decision. And then when that comes through to you, it will be unconditional unless we require evidence of qualifications. My course qualifications are BBB, although on the 10th of August, on results day, if I get BBC, what happens? Thank you. So thanks for that question. Great question. If you have not got the grades that you were expecting or that you think haven't met the conditions of your offer, check on UCAS Track first. So a drop of 1 grade may mean that you've been accepted anyway on that program, because as I say, any student where they don't meet the conditions of their offer based on the results that we receive, we'll re-look at the application again. So taking into account everything that we've received and see if we're able to offer you a place anyway. You may also get an alternative offer depending on how much you've missed the grades by and how other people have done on the course. So you may get a foundation degree or a foundation year offer, but definitely check UCAS Track first. Don't just assume that because you've not got what you thought you got, that you've automatically been unsuccessful. If I apply for MSc in accounting and finance, how many days do we have to wait to get the offer letter? So if you're applying for a postgraduate course at NTU, the application process is slightly different. So you don't go through clearing for master's programs, you go through our online application portal. If you're still waiting for a decision after around 10 working days, then I would advise you to call our applicant engagement team, and they'll be able to discuss the application with you and see whereabouts it's got to. If you've had an offer and you're waiting for an offer letter, it may just be that we've had to request a paper copy of an offer letter for you. So just follow up with whoever you've had to ask for that offer letter and they'll be able to give you some advice. Okay, so we've had another question about what time are we open on A-level results day? So just to reconfirm, that's 8:30 a.m. on A-level results day that will be open. So just to wrap up, I think that's all the questions that we've had so far. So our clearing hotline is open and we are taking applications now. So it's 0115 848 6000 if you want to give us a call, or go to ntu.ac.uk/clearing to find out all the information that we've got about clearing at the moment. You can also register via our pre-registration form for all of the updates around clearing that we will be able to give out over the next couple of weeks. Or alternatively, you can submit an online application when that goes live if you've got your results already. But thank you so much for attending and for giving me those brilliant questions. I'm really glad I was able to answer all of them. And hopefully I'll see a lot of you in September. So thank you very much and speak to you soon.
Let's look forward. Think differently and ask the big questions.
This is more than your postcode and your past. This is about doing the right things. Today,
Tomorrow,
and forever.
Let's go.
at NTU, it's what we do. We encourage you to find what you truly love and follow it into a great future.
You'll rise and you'll thrive here. Reinvent yourself along the way.
Because this university is your university.
And our opportunities are your opportunities.
These are your people, to learn and live with, to laugh, play and perform with.
This is your place, a place for new experiences, for the curious, the courageous.
And the quiet.
This is your support network, custom built for you and tailored to your own needs.
This is your career, your placements and prospects, your ideas brought to life.
And this is your city, a place of adventure.
Somewhere to call home.
This is your future, and we'll help you write it.